Welcome to Sweethearts or Rivals. I'm Charla,
I'm Justin.
and today is the second installment in Name That Sound.
Yep. So let's just get right to last episode's sound.
Right, let's see what it was. So we're back.
Yep. Congratulations to Judge Dredd 1973 for being the first person to correctly guess last episode's sound.
Right.
But that was an easy one.
It was.
So this episode's sound is going to be a little bit more difficult.
So we think.
Yeah, that's
Let's
true.
listen.
Yeah, let's listen. Aw. All right, we're back.
We're back, and what's the topic today?
Same topic as last episode. Magic the Gathering.
Part 2.
Part 2. Dun dun dun.
Because we went to Friday Night Magic, and
Yep.
what happened there?
We got trounced.
We sure did.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And it's like when we played away, I don't know what it was, 20 years ago or whatever.
Yeah, something crazy like that, yeah.
You know, you didn't keep your stats or anything. Now
No.
it's got this crazy computer system, and
Oh,
you got
yeah.
a membership number.
We have membership cards so we can go look up our stats and everything.
And like the first game they played, and then they put who won, and then like the computer generated who was going to play next.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
So like all the good players like kept moving up, and all the bad players kept moving down.
Yeah, in the very last game, guess who the match was? Us.
Us.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I got
I
trounced
won,
again.
but but still, like, whoo, that's different.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very interesting to come into a group, sit down, and having really played casually, even when we played tournaments 20 years ago, it was still fairly casual.
Yes,
Now
compared to
there's-
this, it's
yeah,
different.
There's like a whole etiquette
Yeah.
around how the tournament goes. So you shuffle your deck and then you offer to the other person if they want to cut it. The first time I played and I got my butt kicked and I was like, all right, well, good game, thanks. And the guy's like, 2 out of 3? And I thought he was asking. And I was like, no, you kicked my butt well enough the first time. But no, in a tournament, it's the best 2 out of 3 for each match.
Okay, let's just say you won.
Yeah.
No, I'll play for the experience.
Yeah.
But it was interesting.
Yeah. Another thing to say is that us being noobs going in, returning noobs, I guess, because
Yeah.
we had played before and we thought we knew what we were doing. But coming in, we walk through the door, we go up to say, okay, where's Magic? And the guy ahead of us in line dropped $100 on one card.
Yeah.
And me and Charlotte were just like,
We're at the
"Oh,
wrong game.
Goodness.
Yeah.
But then we go down, and yes, we got stomped. But I mean, the players there, the experts, they were nice. They weren't jerks about it.
No.
They weren't rubbing your face into
No.
it. A lot of the time, they would give you helpful advice on, maybe this is what's wrong with your deck, or this is what you could do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and yeah, a lot of them had decks that they spent a lot of money on, but there's a couple guys who had decks that they didn't spend a ton of money on. So a little helpful advice on how to get decks without spending tons of cash.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of good websites that
Yeah.
they gave us.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
where to buy cards online. And,
Yeah.
and there's like a site that you can look at other people's decks and stuff.
And upload your own decks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting stuff like that.
Yeah. It was
Um,
interesting though. I was the only girl there.
Yes.
That was kind of weird. And I was like, aren't there ever any other girls that play? No. Like, it was a really
yeah.
odd dynamic too.
They mentioned
'cause-
one.
Yeah, and
who
you could
moved
tell.
away.
I might have made them a little uncomfortable.
Um,
But they're all super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were a little bit nicer to you than me. Not that they weren't nice to me, but I mean, I would look over and you're sitting there and guy's got his like his binder open. Is like, oh, you could use this card and this card.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I'm playing, and they're like, "Oh, you should have got a 1/1 soldier right there." I'm like, "Oh, thanks."
Yeah, little
Oh,
reminder.
you should have got life right. Oh, thanks. Yeah.
It's funny because it kind of reminded me of if we're having like a big board game day and we're playing a game with someone who's never played that game before.
Yeah,
And
and
really-
we're always helping them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the first time you play, that's the best way to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was interesting. I think also they were happy to have new people come in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want new players to stick around and continue being new players, you can't treat them like crap.
Oh, it's true.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. So, very interesting experience.
Yeah, and people with newer decks that come in that aren't as good as theirs, they'll be at the top because there's like prizes and stuff too.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize you had to like put money in so that there could be prizes and stuff.
Yep.
But
yeah, promo cards, packs, and stuff like that. Boosters. Yeah. So it was interesting. Last episode we talked about how it's nice you can go buy a deck and you can play casually and it doesn't have to be a money suck. If you're going to play in official Magic the Gathering tournaments, it is going to be a money suck.
If you want to be serious,
yes,
and win.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was very interesting to go there and get trounced and see what was going on. But then afterwards we realized we had spent quite a bit of money on our cards. I mean, we started like selling. I sold some video games and some equipment from the garage that's been in storage. We started selling things off so that we didn't have to feel guilty about spending so much money on Magic the Gathering.
Right.
And I know most of the people at that Magic the Gathering tournament have spent as much money on their Magic as we have spent on all our board games, if not more.
Yeah.
Like it's yeah. So if you're going to go into Magic, please be aware that if you're going to play it seriously, it is going to be a very consuming hobby for you.
Probably. Yeah.
Yep.
Because can't you play professionally?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which just blows my mind. Like
Yeah.
you can, it's like poker tournaments, but for Magic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Another interesting kind of aspect on that is we learned about how every year there's a core set that comes out, and then there's a block of sets that come out, and usually it's 3 small sets that make up this block. And then what happens is that every 2 years, the oldest block gets rotated out and is no longer tournament legal. So at the time of this video, the new block is coming out, which is the Cons. I can't remember of what, but of some plane. Is coming in, which means it's pushing out the 2014 core set and the previous block as well. So that's getting pushed out, which means you're not allowed to play those legally in a tournament. And I also just read an article that this year, after the Cons come out, they're going to restructure how those blocks are released. So instead of every 2 years, your cards are only going to be good for 18 months, so a year and a half.
Yeah.
So you go out and you spend like $300 on the new sets, and woohoo, you're building all these decks, and those cards are good for 18 months, and you're going to have to buy new ones.
That's a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to play in official tournaments, yeah, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And I even thought, like, couldn't we like get together like a casual league where people can just play that are beginners and don't want to spend all this money? But I mean, if somebody who's been playing for a long time comes, it's like, ooh, I could go there and play any card I want. It's going to be like 10 times as bad as when we were there Friday night getting trounced by these crazy cards. So you really, really have to be aware that if you're going to go into Magic, you got to do it one of 2 ways. You're either all in, tournaments, spending lots of money, get rid of all your board games, they're gone. Money, that's it. That's your hobby. Or casual, get a couple decks. Really don't worry about making them the best they can possibly be.
Well, if you hear
just
there,
play with friends who are doing it the same
well,
way.
I think I still want to go to Friday Night Magic.
Every now and then,
Every now and then.
Yeah.
But I can't go every week,
No.
or I'm going to be pulled back into,
Yeah.
I need to buy.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, at this point, it really isn't realistic for us.
No.
So,
Not unless
But
we
still-
dropped our board games.
I learned a few things, about building decks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, for sure, like, really focus in on, like, 1 or 2 different synergies. Like, don't scatter
Yeah.
your deck, like, all over the place.
Yeah.
Get the cards you want to use together.
Yeah.
Put the maximum of those in your deck.
Mhm.
And then that's, like, your strategy for the whole match.
Yep.
But,
Yeah, absolutely.
very informative.
Yep. So if you've been thinking about Magic the Gathering, hopefully this helps you out. And a couple websites. Maybe I'll put some links in the comments below to some of the websites that we were given by some very helpful people at Friday Night Magic. things where you can do research, because research is going to be
Research
your
is
friend.
key.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't want to buy the boosters. You might as well just, if you want that $25 card, don't buy 5 boosters hoping to get that $25. Just spend the $25 on the card.
Yeah, which sounds weird, but I mean, seriously, $25 on boosters and you don't get it?
I mean, you get a lot of nice cards.
Yeah.
Magic the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering. See you next episode.
Thanks for watching.
See ya.